How's everybody doing today? Today I'm going to be reviewing the Carbon Express XRZs. And I've had these arrows for about a year. I bought 6 of them, and I have the 400 spines on them, the 250 shafts. And I've just been hunting just whitetail deer with them. And before I was using these gold tips. Give you a little history of how I came about these arrows. I was using these gold tips. They're just a Warrior. These were a 500 spine. I was shooting, I think, 56 pounds before, and I had a bow that didn't shoot as fast, but now I got a faster shooting bow, so I had to go up to the arrows. These are gold tips. They're Warriors, 500 spine. They're like, I think they're half the price as a box of 6 compared to a box of these. And these I've had every single one of these. I think it's 6, yeah. I still have every single one of these from, it would be 3 seasons, and I've shot 3 deer with them. And none of them are broke. They're all in good condition. They all fly pretty straight. They're pretty good. Some of the fletchings are kind of messed up, but I mean, 3 years in use, I mean, I expect it. But I went to the shop and I got my new bow and everything, so I wanted some new arrows. I figured there had to be something better out there than these cheap old, they were just came out of the box arrows. I mean, they don't got nothing special to them. They don't got no blazer vanes, even though they got like the blazer shape. They're kind of generic looking to me. I figured there had to be something better out there, and that's the only arrow I've ever tried. Never had any other ones. And I knew some people that used Carbon Express. I knew some people that used Full Metal Jacket. I knew people that used Black Eagle. And I figured, since I never really used Carbon Express, and I always had kind of a positive look towards Carbon Express, so I went with the Carbon Express arrow. Now, when I was picking these out, I asked the guy, I said, well, what's your best arrow? To see what his opinion was. And he walked me straight back to the gold tips and pointed almost at the same exact ones I had before. So I was kind of on edge about it. I didn't really know if I wanted to go with a new one or just go with a little more expensive gold tip, because I just bought a brand new bow. I don't want to have it with just kind of like crappy accessories. It really ain't gonna help me any. So I went against him, and I went with these. Let me show you just the maximums. There's 6 of them, Carbon Express. All the other ones, really, there was a Matthews edition, there was a code blue, a code red, and these ones are kind of they had a technology behind them. There's a backbone technology, and they went for $100 for 6 of them. I think the other ones went for $50. And I was pretty happy with them. Brought them out of the box, and this is the only arrow I have intact from this season. I don't know how to put this. They fly really good. As soon as I got them out of the package, pulled them out of the package, started shooting them, they were flying straighter than ever. And them were 500 spines. These are 400 spines, but since the poundage of the bow and poundage of this, it's basically the same thing. I'm just comparing the arrows. Now, when you pull these out of the package, they're very pretty, I have to say, compared to these arrows. You can see right here, you got the different color fletchings and everything, just like everyone, but it's got a metal keeper, and it's got a almost looks like a luminoc, but it's not. It's just a clear knock. And it's got that like digital kind of spine, just the cool graphics, the red zone type deal, and the Carbon Express logo, and so on out. And this one, as you see, it's just a normal arrow. Don't got really anything to it. No technology behind it. It's just plain Jane arrow, I thought. But I was shooting these, started shooting them, and they were shooting really, really good. I mean, they were shooting right on target. Even though I had the new bow and everything, I still shot a few of them in the old bow, and they were still flying very, very good in the old bow. So I figured there had to be, before I even took them out in the woods, I was already pretty happy with them. They were shooting pretty good, liked them. And the first thing I noticed when I was shooting them into the bags and the deer and everything, they were getting very, very scraped up. I mean, like, it looked like I just like shot them in the rocks, kind of. It's got It's all starting to smear and everything. But I know that's just the paint, but it was kind of like, I would rather not see it do that. And the Warriors didn't do that. So I was kind of comparing them to the Warriors, the gold tips. And took them out the first day I was in the woods. First day I'm in the woods. And mind you, I was shooting all of the arrows that were shot. Even the Warriors, the gold tips, were all shot on these G5 Montex, the carbon steel. All 100 grain, they were all shot on that fixed blades. First day I'm out in the woods, got the fixed blade on and everything. Coyote comes in. Shoot the coyote from like 10 yards away. It was a great shot and everything. He only ran like 30 yards. I went down to get my arrow, and I see one part of my arrow laying over here, and the broadhead part of the arrow is still like hanging out of the coyote when I get down there. And you can see, kind of piece it together there. I mean, broke pretty much right in the middle. And I just thought, coyote kind of bony, might have hit a rib or something, deflected off. I didn't really think much of it. Arrows break, it's what it is. You're gonna have arrows break no matter what, even though I think I might have got a little lucky with the Warriors not having one break in 3 years. But I mean, when I was first getting into bow hunting, I was shooting them against plywood, missing the target and stuff, hitting them, and they were still good. And I was thinking, I just might have been a little glitch. I didn't really think nothing of it. Just can't. I wasn't gonna let one mishap of it just judge my whole outlook of the arrow. So I kept hunting. Deer season came along, and everything was still in deer season then. But I went and finally got the buck I wanted to come in, and I shot him. But I didn't make the best shot. I made a shoulder shot, and hit him in the shoulder blade. He ran like, I'm gonna say, 30 yards was the blood trail. Nothing much. And like, I don't see the arrow went in. When I hit him, I knew it was a bad shot and everything. I knew it was high. The arrow didn't make much a force into him. And I went down to collect my arrow, and all I found was this. It just, the tip is broken off here. Tip should be about around here. It just, you see that? Just broken off. I figured I made a bad shot, hit a shoulder blade. I wasn't really gonna get down on myself for the arrow breaking because I hit a shoulder blade. I didn't hit a shoulder blade with any of the Warriors, so I really didn't have nothing to compare it to. But I recovered that deer, and this was the broadhead that was in the deer. He kind of bit it off and everything, so it don't really align perfectly. But there's the arrow, perfectly snapped off. That's all the farther it went in. I was able to shoot that deer about 2 to 3 weeks after shooting him with that arrow and it breaking off. I shot him again, and I was able to shoot him perfect vitals, made a great shot on him. And this is where like my look on this arrow really went bad. Shot him right in the vitals, hit nothing. I mean, no bone, nothing. It was just straight vitals. I've shot all 3 deer, hit. They were perfect shots almost. They were heart and lung shots every single time. With the Warriors, they blew right through them and went in the ground. I was pretty happy with them at the time, but I still figured there was something better, more accurate. And there was something more accurate I found with these, but the durability on them was really lacking. And when I shot that deer from 10 yards away to finish him off from the last arrow, I broke it again. And it was in the same place almost. It was in there. I don't have this broadhead because it was all trashed and goopy and everything. I threw it away. But it broke off. And I only shot that deer 10 yards away, and it should have blew right through him. And it blew right through him, but it broke coming out the back side, and the arrow was hanging in him. I don't know how it broke, but I am not very happy with these arrows at all. Being $100 and then being $50, I wasn't very pleased. I was pleased with the accuracy of the arrow and everything. I was very happy with that, shooting it in the bag. But when I got out in the field, it was very not durable at all. I had 6 of them. I lost 1 from shooting from sighting in my bow, and I just couldn't find it. and I only am down to 1 now. So I have broke 3 of them, and I might see breaking 1 a season, but breaking 3 every shot a season, I mean, there's got to be something wrong here with them arrows. And I think now I just look back to going to the store, and the guy saying he didn't like Carbon Express and he didn't like Full Metal Jacket and all the ones I was referring to him. I was just kind of looking at him like, okay, but he said he just looked at the same arrows I had, the gold tips, and just kept going back to them. So that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm probably gonna buy a cheaper style of the gold tip, though. I'll probably buy one of the higher end ones instead of that one. It's right in the middle. It ain't dirt cheap, but it's close to it. And I think I'm gonna buy some of them and maybe get some Luminox on them. I'll continue to shoot the same broadheads and everything like that. But compared to the gold tips to these arrows, I mean, I'm not very happy with them. I would rather just save my money and go with these ones, even though they don't look as cool. I mean, everything I know, you want everything to look cool and everything, so do I. But I mean, sometimes you gotta say heck with the style and go with something that works. And the one thing the guy did tell me, he said he doesn't like Carbon Express and Full Metal Jacket, and what did he say, Easton Under Armour, and something else. I think Beeman. I think that's what it's called. They have a dual shaft, they call it, and it's supposed to increase durability. So I've had other friends that shot the Full Metal Jackets, and they love them. It's just I don't think they've ever had one break that they've told me, but I've had not very good luck with these arrows, and I think I'm gonna go back to the gold tips and everything. And I hope this guys help you for your next arrow purchase, and maybe you guys don't make the same mistake as I do, and maybe you'll go with the gold tips. I'm not telling you to go with the gold tips. I'm sure there's great arrows out there just like the gold tips. So I just wanted to share my experience with you guys and hope it helps you with your next purchase.